You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast. Happy Easter, everybody. Welcome back. Easter is upon us. Very excited. The Easter show, Eddie, I don't know if you've heard this, but in an attempt to curb gang-related violence at the Easter show, they've banned all rap music.
They've banned rap music at the Easter show.
Which
in what sense? Was it blasting over the speakers anyway?
I think, like, if you get to a certain ride and they're playing rap music at the ride, they're concerned that that may incite some gang members to come and stab each other.
Who the fuck is coming up with this shit?
I would say, honestly, if you had to ask me, I would say Karens between the ages of 45 and 65. And Karen men, whatever they are.
So you're telling me if I go to the Cha-Cha, instead of some good, honest, hilltop hoods, potentially, trying to get me motivated to jump on board and rip in, I might have, I don't know, a little bit of Mozart playing.
And good for you for choosing the only white rappers this country's produced, from my knowledge. But
there's a few more.
There are. I'm being silly. But there is something.
Well, they're part of the fabric, aren't they?
There is something that's like kind of racist about that. I don't think it's racist. Like, it's racist to assume that rap music, much like, like if you attract a cat, you're trying to get a cat, and you're like, come here, puss, puss, puss. It's like trying to attract like Islander gang members. You just play rap music and they just start to like come out of the woodworks. Like heaps of people like rap music.
But
we've been bumping rap music all day.
Rap music's fucking popular for a reason. It's not just Islander or black kids that listen to it.
No.
Like everyone listens to it. And if on the scale of like etched things that are said in songs, surely Slipknot and Marilyn Manson and shit are a bit higher on the list.
Listen, I don't know that, I could be wrong. I don't know that Slipknot or Marilyn are going to be getting much of a run at the Easter show either. But I think
But they're not banned, Tom.
No. It's the step to ban rap music that it's actually the whitest decision of all time. And I hate when people talk about like, oh, fucking white guys, white people do this. Like, I think it's all fucking ridiculous. But it is the whitest decision of all time.
But it doesn't make any sense.
You know how we stop these Islanders bloody
But you see, you hear interviews with
music.
Lil Wayne and shit, and he's like, mate, like at my concert, 90% of people there are fucking white.
People
it's not
like music, not because of the colour of their skin, but because of the fucking things they like.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's, you know how white it is? So the New South Wales Police Assistant Commissioner, Stuart Smith.
Stuart sounds black.
Stuart Smith's a pretty white name.
I was joking.
Someone from American Dad.
Yeah.
But he has referred to it at least 3 times, I can see in quotes, as rapper music.
Oh, Jesus.
Rapper music.
Rapper music. So he says he's called it rapper type music once. He said gangs particularly and proactively procured youths through rapper music.
Oh, that's how they... Okay.
And there was another one here where he's saying rapper music is being used to lure youth into a life of crime.
That is
Jesus
so
Christ.
wild that they're writing that. Like
it's kind of
almost
feels like
you know what? I'm not going to the Easter show this year, and I'm going to prevent myself from being indoctrinated because I can't listen to rap music on the Cha-Cha.
But it'd be like, hey, I'm not going to the Easter show because it's indoctrinating me into a life of fucking eating chocolate.
Chips on a stick.
Chips, like, what are we talking about? It's fucking rap music, dude. Like,
it'd be great to interview people about this and just prod a little bit. Like, do you actually know what you're talking about?
How much thought have you put into this?
is this
it? Is this the extent of your like preparedness for like gangs to meet at the Easter show and stab each other?
Is it a big problem? Is all?
No, someone got stabbed or killed last year at the Easter show.
And so this is a knee-jerk reaction to that.
I don't know that he was stabbed with a rap song, but
hilarious that when they sat down to brainstorm how to stop potentially someone getting killed again this year, that's what they came up with.
Yeah.
That's what they settled on.
Is there anything else? What other measures are they putting in place?
It did say, I think, metal detectors.
Well, there you go. That might have been a good fucking start last year.
Better lighting in like alleys behind rides and stuff.
Yeah.
Turning music volume down generally. and also banning other music with offensive language.
More cops on there.
Yeah, hey, more police. Offensive language in music doesn't make a difference, you fucking idiots.
They wouldn't play Hello Sport at the Easter show if that's the case.
No. Which is bullshit.
Pretty high fucks per minute on this podcast.
Yes, shout out to Dean Ritchie. Definitely high fucks per minute.
God, that's good stuff. I haven't been to the Easter show in quite some time. I was trying to.
I thought you said you'd never been.
I was thinking about that, but I have a vague memory of seeing men in the wood chopping, right high up the pole, which didn't happen at Dubbo. They didn't go that high from memory.
They don't get that high at Dubbo, do they?
No. So I think that's the only time I've been, Tom. Doesn't really draw me in the Easter show.
The last time I went was maybe like 10 years ago with Steph. We went out there, me and
the two of you?
Just the two of us. And
did you get a show bag? Birdie Beetle?
I don't know what I got. Can't remember. But
did you get Birdie Beetle?
No. I might. I don't. Listen, dude, Birdie Beetle's overrated. Birdie Beetle chocolate is cardboard and dry.
You don't like Birdie Beetles?
No. I don't not like them, but I don't like them.
That seems a bit rough on Birdie.
Well, if you're going to lob a fucking Cadbury show bag at me or a Birdie Beetle show bag.
I've always found Birdie Beetles only seem to exist at the show.
And there's probably a reason for that.
But why is that?
Because it's shit.
But why make it if it's shit?
I don't know.
It
could be like one of those
product.
old-timey chocolates that's like, this is basically, it's like heritage-listed show bags. We can't get rid of it.
Or Birdie Beetle himself signed a very long-term contract with the showgrounds of this great nation and said, listen, I've got a 100-year lease.
Yeah.
100-year lease.
Could even be a Scientology thing, 1 trillion years.
Possibly, Tom. Not ruling that out. But it doesn't make sense to me. Every show, we went to the Robertson show the other day. There was like 2 fucking show vans there, and one of them was selling Birdie Beetles, mega packs. You get like 70 Birdie Beetles in one bag if you so chose. Shows.
Listen, the East. What? Is there a Manly show bag? Mm-hmm. So what's included? How much is it? $30. One hat, car sign, decal, decal, lanyard, sports bag, pencil case, temporary tattoos, tote bag. $30.
Or 2 for $50. The retail value is $68.60. So you're well ahead.
You're well ahead.
If you get 2, you're well ahead.
You're well ahead. I mean, the value in that bag. We should have done a Hello Sports show bag.
Oh, we should have. I'm sitting here thinking about what you could put in it.
Dude.
How hard is it to get registered to sell a show bag?
I don't even think you'd do it at the Easter show. I think we just sell them online,
which
is actually a good time to remind everyone that if you didn't cop last night and if they're not sold out already, the Punters and Dribbles Rosé Court is available, hellosport.shop.
I tell you what would go in our show bag. It's Curly Willy Squirrelies.
Curly Willy Squirrelies. Obviously, we might need some legal thing here. We'd have some merch in there.
Yeah. Punters and Dribblers.
Punters and Dribblers hats.
Not much else.
There's not really much else. Tequila. Big Day Rosé. Bloke. Well, he's a sponsor. He's probably got his own show bag. You know, I mean, I'd put a bloke in there, but I'd put Big Day Rosé in beforehand. Oh, so it's a bloke show bag.
Yeah.
Because Kempy would have his bloke show bag. He'd have a case of bloke or a can of bloke probably. He'd probably have some liver, steroids,
some muesli bars,
photos of himself
shirtless, because he takes his shirt off now that he's getting ripped again.
Of course he is.
Is he putting Matty the Waterboy in the show bag?
Yeah, he would. In every show bag.
Yeah.
Don't know how that works, but
so Matty the Waterboy scissors?
Yes. All that good stuff.
Yeah. Is there any other show bags, Dave, that I could have a look at here? Like, what's the best show? Can we use like price-wise?
But what's the best show bag you ever got? I know mine. Came with a Game Boy that wasn't a Game Boy, but like it was...
They sold it as a Game Boy.
It was a show. It was a...
Easter show.
It was an Easter show one, and Dad had to run. We were going away, so we couldn't go to the show, but I really wanted this show bag. So Dad had to run in the pouring rain to get it for me.
Oh, that's nice.
How nice is that?
That's good from Papa.
You remember that, Dad? Fucking good on you, mate. Still remember it.
An Elvis show bag.
Is Luke in there?
I bet you he's not.
Who's getting an Elvis Presley show bag? How many are they selling of that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's bizarre. What's the most expensive show bag?
Ooh,
Go price range.
yeah, there you go.
There's your Cadbury favourites, mate.
Nerf. That Nerf bag looks dope. So 35 is the most expensive bag. Bullshit, man. I remember going out there the ones for like $70.
The Minnie Mouse bag, 35. Mega Doctor.
Dude,
What is all this shit?
Going out there with kids would be a fucking nightmare. Steph and I actually were like, do we go to this? Like, do we go with the girls? Like, Evie would vibe it. Zoe too young, but it was like, it would be one of the great fucking nightmares. They ask for everything.
I just want to make mention that the police are really worried about like kids getting involved in crime, but there is also a $35 show bag called Mega Cop where you get a fake machine gun and other guns. So,
It's a great point, Dave. It's
a great point.
Yeah.
Mega Cop. Who comes up? Who comes up with that name? Mega Cop. Here's a machine gun.
Mate, someone out there invented the show bag. Someone out there is the king of the show bags.
Veritas Marketing. Who's Veritas?
I wouldn't mind.
Are you thinking of, what's that one? Project Veritas?
Project Veritas. That's something different. I don't know what that
something
is.
Else. That's
That's something to do with.
it's a big like
Pfizer and shit,
anti-vaccination
isn't it?
thing. Yeah.
No, but that's Veritas Marketing. Wouldn't shock me if they're all linked.
I tell you what, when you used to walk down Sideshow Alley and all the carnies are there barking at you, trying to get you to come on their rides or,
Showies, dude. I love
get
showies,
ripped off.
dude.
And you'd see that guy, right? And he was like, and he would walk up the ladders to the $50 cash. But then when everyone else did it, he would hold the bottom of it. If you got too high, he'd just flip you off. And no one said a word.
Dude, showies
Like adults weren't like, oi, let go of the fucking ladder, mate.
Yeah.
Because I know what you're doing. You're flipping it.
Yeah, showies, dude. Showies are a crafty.
dude.
But showies are like, they're like not a race of people, but
Yes, they basically are. They may as well be.
Showies.
Carnies.
Yeah, but I like showies, dude.
Why do you like showy?
Because
I prefer carny.
Nah, because they're just working at shows. They're just dudes who work at shows,
They'd all fuck each other, wouldn't they?
You'd think so, dude. You'd have to think there'd be some real showy, like out the back of a ride, underneath a ride, chonging going on. There'd be a lot of showies conceived on rides.
Do you think
rides.
they do? Do you think they do the whole circuit? Like does someone go from Dubbo to Wellington
dude.
to Orange to Bathurst?
Dude, the showy circuit is probably year round from show to show. Like if you own like a certain ride,
And every weekend there's a different show.
yeah, there'd be a show somewhere. All right, pack it up. Where they're just a travelling circus.
It is a circus. Getting into the carny world, the showy world, is you've almost got to be born into that life.
No, you definitely do. Or like tumble into it.
Or fall into it through desperation or maybe,
No, look, I don't want to say desperation because I'm not here to impugn the good work of the showy generally. It's not like it's a fucking bad life. But
I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't want to speculate. But the showy life does seem like not something that you set out to go into unless you are born into the life of a showy.
Do you reckon it's a good racket? Do you reckon they make much coin? Like if you do the numbers, on get up a Dodgem car, right? Get up how much it is to ride the Dodgems, for example.
No, how much to buy one? What do they cost?
What do they cost to buy? And what do they like? How much can you charge someone per ride? $10, $15?
15 at least. I reckon you go 15.
How many
right?
people are on the ride every time? Probably 10. It's $150. How long does it go for? A couple of minutes, and you just bang churning them out.
True. Maybe the showy life is the fucking real life.
I bet you the showgrounds rip your eyes out. That would be my guess.
Yeah. Surely.
But how much to buy a whole Dodgem
car.
setup that folds out the back of a truck?
Oh. So Dodgem cars individually, they range from about 500 for really like just blow up inflatable type ones to
Why the fuck would we want that?
They go up to $5,000 with most of them between $1,000 and $2,000 each.
How much is it going to cost me to get a ready to go
Dodgem
full
car
setup Dodgem car setup in the back of a trailer that I can hook my bloody semi up to and drive away?
Yeah.
That's what I need to know. Because I'm trying to work out, Dave, if there's coin to be made in this carny life.
Dude, imagine if we got Dodgem cars. I still want a limousine, BT Dubs. Send us your limousines that are cheap.
My mum sent me a link to ones the other day, but it was 2 of them.
Yeah, but was it the one that I think I maybe got sent as well, where it's 2 of them, it's like you could buy one?
Or could you buy one?
I think it was like,
we don't have room for 2.
We don't have room for one.
And I don't need 2 limos.
We don't have room for fucking our own cars in this joint.
Imagine you'd have to come back here at like, I don't know how, you would never get a park at the front of you.
No, you'd have to come back at night and then put a cover over it.
I don't know if you'd bother covering it, would you?
Well, considering it would not move very often. Punters and Dribblers, we are brought to you by none other than the number one betting platform on planet Earth.
Talking about Neds?
I'm talking about Neds, Eddie. I'm talking
they're number one.
about Neds. They're number one. We love them, we use them, and we love them. Obviously responsibly, but we do enjoy a punt. Now, I may have mentioned this during the podcast, but I was so close to glory on the weekend, a try scorer in every game. I was 1 short. It's okay, but it also was very tough to take.
It was tough to take.
Because it was a season ender.
It was a season ender, and that's your problem, not mine. I will say this. I didn't do very well on a fucking heavy 8, heavy 9 at Randwick on the weekend, Tom. Did pretty poorly.
You have a little look, did you?
I had a little bit of a look, but that's okay. You move on.
Yeah.
Because the sun will come out again.
As long as it's responsible, you're all good.
It's all that has to happen. It's all that has to happen. So go to Ned's, use the website, download the app, have a little flutter, have a little tickle.
Enjoy yourself. Gamble responsibly and enjoy yourself. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
It was always such a vibe when the show rolled into town. Especially as a good, honest fucking
town
townie.
shows shit on the Easter show. With
As
respect.
a townie, when you saw the lights start to sparkle over the horizon and you knew they were starting to put up the Ferris wheel and the cha-cha and the fucking zipper and all that shit. Like, that is what living's all about.
I was in the zipper. Zipper is
Friday night at the show in Dubbo, couldn't beat it.
You could not beat it.
You couldn't.
The sun
beat
goes
it,
down. You're there. The girl you like from school's there. You know.
Yeah, you're hiding from her though, but she's around.
You're terrified of her.
Yeah.
You're saying g'day, mum and dad are off with the other parents. You get to run away with a bit of cash.
Yeah. And there was a feeling out process. You walked in there, what first? Where do we go first?
Where are we congregating?
We used to do like the sort of the not honor is not the right word, but you'd have to go and look at the pumpkins and the sponge cakes and the flowers before you could warm up to
Party time.
I
never had any ritual. It was just go to rip.
Go
and rip. But that Zippo, I was in the Zippo by myself once. That's the one where like it spins and then the individual carriages spin, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
And I was in there and my phone fell out of my pocket and it was rattling around in there with me and I'm like, holy fuck, it's going to fall through this thing. And just in like a desperate attempt, like when you're trying to catch a fly, just went, boos! Pinned it against the fucking wall whilst chaos was going on. I was basically in zero gravity.
Nice, bro. That
was a fuck. Well, you got to come in as well, you fucking lazy.
I tell you what Ella and I did.
That high five is going to haunt me forever, just by the way. I just never to know. That was as tough as it gets.
It's all right, mate. Can only get better.
Yeah, it's true.
I remember I used to think that the ghost train was quite the vibe.
It was terrifying.
Like, it'd go upstairs and shit. Again, that's how much is a ghost train to buy?
You got any prices for us yet?
Not on a full setup.
I want a full setup. I
I
also want to get a price on a ghost train because the last ghost train I went on with Ella was in Dubbo, I don't know, years ago, and we went in there and outside of the skeleton on the door. Once you got in there, there was nothing in there at all. It was just pitch black except for these fucking carnies jumping on the back of the car halfway through it and screaming in your ear like, rah!
Google carnival rides for sale. I've already found like 50 of them, so...
It did say that in America, the average roller coaster costs $8 million to build.
We're not talking about that. I'm talking about shit that went to Dubbo.
Dodgem cars.
But as Ella put it, Tom... that was far scarier than any fucking skeletons could ever have been.
Willie B.
Having a carny scream in your ear halfway through.
Well, yeah, Willie B of my brother fame, shout out to him, when we were on the fucking ghost train ride, one of the carnies had a glove on and he'd tickle your back with like this.
Same thing.
Willie B turned around and grabbed it and like basically broke the guy's fucking fingers because he didn't know it was he thought it was a dinosaur, or like a skeleton or whatever.
Turn around and grab it.
Grabbed him and fucking crunched the guy's fingers, and you heard the guy go, "Oh fuck!" And then we just kept going on through. 28 grand we're looking at here for 8 grand for that train. Now you couldn't charge more than $6. I don't think
80 grand.
Oh,
Jesus,
dude, it would be so dribbly to buy the cha-cha.
I wonder. I wonder what the insurance is on these fucking old things, mate.
Dude, that'd have to be a fair bit. How about that one at Movie World a couple of years ago?
Oh, mate.
I've ridden that bitch.
So have I.
That looks like the worst way possible to die.
It sounded like the worst.
That's what
way
I mean. I
possible
didn't
to
see.
die.
Yeah, that sounded like honestly the worst
Yeah.
possible way to get fucking done.
The hippo water slide, 10 grand. Like, these seem expensive to me.
Well, that thing's pretty big.
The hippo slide?
Yeah. That thing looks fucking
I reckon
massive.
you could buy that at China for fucking cheaper than that.
Maybe. Maybe you could, Eddie. Maybe you could. Anyway, look, I don't think Dave's going to find us what we want.
Well, I'm not shocked by that, Tom.
Dodgem cars. Can't find it.
And a ghost train.
Yeah.
Like-
Considering I could find out anything, the answer to anything that's ever existed in human history on the internet, Dave can't find us the cost of Dodgem cars.
Ask ChatGPT if you're struggling. I tell you where there was quite a racket. The carnies that go, listen, I could spend 80 grand on a cha-cha and I can charge, a fair whack and I can pump out the people. Or I can buy a little pen, couple of Shetlands for fuck all, and charge you $10 a ride for a couple of minutes.
Or I can also get a little stall and set up some fucking cans that are made of lead and get dumb kids to throw balls at them. And even if you hit the top ones that aren't made of lead, those bottom ones are either glued down or they're heavily weighted or they're magnetized or some shit. And you might get 1 out of 100 cunts who actually get to knock these things down, and then I got to give them a huge teddy.
We saw one at the Robertson show the other day. I don't remember this one working this way. It was like a pool of water and there was ducks in there. And if you buy 3 ducks, you can pick up 3 ducks and then you just hand them in and they go, well, that's worth this. And they just give you like a big toy or a small toy or a medium toy.
So it's the luck of the duck.
But I'm also like, couldn't I just pick up ducks until I saw something I liked?
Well, potentially, but maybe you don't know what duck equates to what.
But I think they make it up too, because I don't know what duck equates to what.
Yeah, of course the carnies make it up, dude.
You're sitting there with a little net trying to pick up these ducks, and there's just like a filter spraying water around. It's really budget.
I saw a very, very young Matt Rogers with his very young family when I was at the Easter show with my family back in the day. Peroxide blonde hair Matt Rogers.
Really?
So I don't know how early into his career that was. Dave won't be able to find it, but that's one of my earliest show memories. And it was at one of those stalls where I was getting fucking reamed by some carny trying to rip me off. Carnies kings of the rip-off?
King of the rip-off. Tell you what you could do if you just wanted to go full carny. Just set up with a little tent and a stool and go, mate, do you want to spend $5 to pick how many fucking jelly beans are in this jar when he gets 10 grand? At the end of the day, you just take all the money and fuck off.
Just bail.
Yeah.
I tell you what's even easier.
Is the showground making sure you fulfill your promises?
Yeah, right. Is there a
you getting
showground
vetted?
regulator?
Is there a regulator? Is there an ASIC equivalent?
Yes. ASIC equivalent of
Showick.
Showick. I don't think there would be. Tell you it's another way you could do it. What number am I thinking of? $10 for a guess. Nah, wrong.
Incorrect.
Sorry.
If you can pick what number I'm thinking of, 1 to 100, you get 100 grand. 99, nah, wrong.
Do you want to give Dave an opportunity to win $1,000 right now if he can pick what number you're thinking of?
Yeah, I've already got it. Hold
on, but I need to know it.
You got that?
I got it. Yeah.
Can you give me a range?
No, between 1 and 100.
This for $1,000 bucks.
No, sorry, I said 1 and 100.
Yeah, okay. 69.
Nah. There you go.
That's how you make money.
What was it?
Where's the $10? 33.
Yeah, you owe us $10 now.
That was my next guess.
No, you owe us $10.
You owe us $10.
See, that's
$10
how
to
easy
go.
it is, punters and dribblers. That's how easy it is. Would anyone notice as well if you went to the show and just really nonchalantly walked in with a tent and just set it up at the end of like Sideshow Alley, sat down and started doing that?
I feel like these days, if you go to anything with enough confidence, you can probably just hoodwink your way in. Like there was the guy for the Volk. Some fucking YouTuber got into Volk v Islam, just went in there with a camera and shit and started filming as he's walking in, like, oh, with the crew. They're like, come on in. He fucking did the walkout with
a UFC pass. Mort used to do that shit all the time.
He did, you said. He used to go to festivals.
He used to go to festivals. He would be up on stage next to the DJ taking photos of him.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Just confidence. Streety used to, this is slightly different, but he would just walk into doors for festivals. There was like a door at Laneway and he would every year just walk through that door.
Hit
and
it.
just go. And I was always too much of a pussy.
Now, Dave's finally found something. Fold-up Dodgem cars comes with 30 cars and plenty of spare parts. 90,000. Got to go up to Darwin to get it.
Shit, 90 grand.
I tell you the red flag I'm seeing, Tom. Plenty of spare parts. Seems like you're constantly tinkering with these fucking
you
things.
would be, dude. It'd be a full-time gig tinkering with a fucking Dodgem car, wouldn't it? I also just think the photo they've used looks pretty... Like, they've included the top of the phone. Like, you can tell how much battery he had when he took the screenshot.
Can I ask you this? Have you... And obviously your memory's not great, but I don't recall ever seeing a new ride. They're always old.
You're putting your life into fucking the hands of a ride. It's every time you're on there, you're like, oof.
Like, they're not up to code, surely.
And who's the company developing rides? Like, okay, we need to make something a little bit more hairy, a little bit more hectic. What can this thing do? Like, there must be good money in rides if people can be fucked to even develop them.
But as opposed to rides like at Movie World, which went wrong, or Dream World, wherever it was, that are like set there.
That was old as shit, that ride, though.
Yeah, but so are these ones that fold up and go into the back of trucks.
If we buy and I'm not saying we are, if we bought a Dodgem cars from Australian Amusement Classifieds for $90,000 with spare parts, heaps of them.
Yeah, heaps of them. Yeah.
How much would we, and we're going to charge $15 a ride? Let's do some maths here. How quickly will we make our money back?
I'll quickly do math.
Just while you're working that out, I am doing a bit of research here. It does seem that bumper car technology has not changed in the slightest since the mid-1950s.
That's what you want to hear. So you're dealing with some old machinery. Bumper car technology not improved. Now, I wonder why that is. Is that because it's like the same? Is it the same shit as like trains, though? It's just like it's all running off the electricity of the roof?
I think so. I think like the materials they used to make it have obviously got better and maybe safety regulations and stuff, but the way bumper cars actually operate has not changed.
So how long is it going to take for you to ride the ride and then sub everyone out and sub everyone back in? Okay. 5 minutes?
I think you give 10-minute ride.
10 minutes? Well, no, 8 minutes and 1 minute of on and 1 minute of off. So 10 minute total.
Oh, mate, I think you're going to take a little bit longer to get everyone out of their bumper cars and off the fucking ride.
You're not on for 10 minutes, no way. You never get 10 minutes. 10 minutes is a long time. You don't get fucking 10
Five's too short.
Let's just say 10-minute average. So
or maybe 5 isn't too short.
Yeah.
You think 5's all right?
Yeah, they're usually pretty
5's
short.
pretty well
Okay,
on.
well, let's say 5 off, 5 on, 3 to 4 off.
So you get 12. So you get 12 a go. So let's just say if we're cycling through cunts every 5 minutes.
Now, is that 12 individuals or do you sometimes have 2 people to a car?
No. So 30 cars.
It does say average bumper cars are between 3 and 5 minutes long.
Yeah. So let's say 5, right? So you get 12.
But that's not including swap
You're cycling through 12 groups an hour. We've got 30 cars. Is 30 cars too many?
No, not if we're trying to make our nut.
So 30 cars times 15 a ride. It's 450 times 12. You're making 5,400 an hour. Now, we're running that bitch at the Dubbo show. We're running that bitch. Let's say...
Yeah.
So
From
all
sun up to
Friday... No,
sundown.
so it was all Friday, it was all Saturday, and it was a half-day Sunday. So you go... What time's it open? What time do you reckon...
11. Oh, the show's
But
usually...
you're not filling up. Like, how many hours are you fucking cranking
Yeah, you
for?
got to crank. It's probably from like 3.
So 9 hours?
3 till like 10.
So 7 hours.
Yeah.
7 hours you're absolutely cranking.
Pumping.
and we'll go at least, for the Dubbo show, you're cranking Friday, Saturday night at least. So times 7, times 2. You're walking out of there with 75 grand.
So we're making...
in a weekend. You almost make that back in one weekend. You've still got Weller, you still got fucking Bathurst, you still got Orange, you still got Lithgow.
We're also trying to get to the big dance. We're trying to get to the show.
Mate, that's just the Central West.
Mate, we're trying to get to the Easter show.
Oh,
dude,
fuck.
the Easter show would fucking kill.
Kill it, mate. And you'd be charging $20.
And you're starting at 3, you'd be starting at 10.
Yes.
10 till 10.
Yes.
12 hours. What's one day at the show get us? You're also probably... What are we charging here?
I reckon at
What are we charging Dubbo?
$15.
We're charging 20 at the show.
100% we are. So 20 times 30, that's 600 just for a 5-minute ride. We're getting 12 of them an hour. That's $7,200 an hour. I reckon we're cranking, babe. We're doing 12-hour fucking
12 hours.
sessions. We're doing 12-hour
10
sessions,
till
babe.
10.
You're making 86 grand a day.
Okay, so one day at the big dance, we
Making
pay
86 grand a
that
day,
bitch
bro.
off. We pay that bitch right off. Now, what does it cost to run one of these? Is it generator powered? You know what I mean?
You've obviously got cost, Tom, but we've
Overheads.
You've got overheads, but listen, you got some old fucker out the back who just knows dodgems. He's tinkering. Then you got a couple of those guys that sit on there and readjust you when you go wrong.
Yeah,
so you got a couple of
Carnies.
staff members. They're on $30 an hour.
Yeah.
Old Tinker out the back. He might be on a pinch more because he knows how to
you
operate
give
the
Tinker a
equipment.
bit more because Tinker is probably the last living human alive who knows how to tinker.
You got Jenny who's taking money for tickets.
Yes. We got to keep an eye on her because if it's all a cash business, she's pocketing some of that as well.
Not anymore. It's all card.
I wouldn't mind doing a bit of cash work there, you know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, you could, but you need to trust Jenny.
Yeah, and I don't.
I don't trust Jenny either.
No.
You and I could man the booth if we needed to.
I don't want to.
Then you got electricity costs. Obviously, the the Sydney show is going to charge through the teeth. But listen,
Travel, transport,
if you can't make your money back, if you're not starting to generate good, honest profit first month into a 12-month stint, I'm not here.
Well, you're shit.
I'm not here. I reckon you got 11 months of just pure, honest Australian profit. That's what I reckon.
Yeah.
There are a lot of shows. This is just the regional.
There we go, mate.
This is before you get to the Royal Circuit.
Well, I only need 52.
There's a show up where I stay near Byron every year, and it's there for like 2 or 3 weeks every single year with Dodgems, Cha-Cha.
See, I wouldn't mind finding a show that's a couple of weeks long so you can settle in. But then maybe the excitement dwindles and you just start. No one's fucking coming for the cars.
I honestly think that
Short, sharp bursts.
you need to hit the short, sharp burst. I'll tell you why. If I know there's a Dodgem down the road, if there was a Dodgem down the road in Alexandria, I'd never go to it.
No.
But if I'm at the Dubbo show and if I'm in Dubbo and the show rolls in, you better believe I'm riding those Dodgems. Maybe more than once.
Yeah, you nip
twice,
down there
3
quick.
times.
Yeah,
I'm nipping down.
It's like when you live in a country and there's tourist shit to do, you never do it because it's in your backyard.
Exactly. It's exactly right.
We can make some fucking money. I couldn't be bothered, but I would like to,
Well, no, but it's changed my perception entirely
on what
of
the show
that
is.
Carney life. I reckon these fuckers are printing coin.
Where are they living though?
Back of a caravan, saving every dime.
Yeah, saving every fucking penny.
They're probably tired asses, but good on them. Or maybe you get in and you get out. Maybe it's a short shot. Maybe that Carney life's not that.
It's not for everyone, not long term.
No, it's like It's like going to the mines, but you're going into the Carney circuit.
Yeah.
Get in there, pound it out for 5 hours, buy a house, chill out.
Buy a couple of houses, couple of jet skis,
couple of boats.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh, I'm going to the mines to make 100 grand a year. Go, I'm getting to that Carney life to make 500.
Yeah, just bought some Dodgem cars. Gonna be a billionaire.
I'm gonna next. I wouldn't mind going through the rich list, seeing if there's any fucking Carney billionaires.
Richest Carnies,
Type in the richest Carney in Australia. What's he worth?
or the number one Carney.
Who's number one? Who's the king of the Carnies?
Yeah, who's primo Carney?
Who's king of the Carnies? Because there is a bloke
There's a man or woman,
Well, I think they're probably
a couple, a family.
They're either a brother and a sister, or they're a husband and a wife.
I think they're a husband and a wife.
Could still be married.
Married since the age of like 16.
Still could be married as siblings.
I don't know if it's legal.
I don't think it's illegal.
You don't think it's illegal?
I think we've looked it up before on this
To
show.
marry your fucking sibling, it's 100% illegal.
I think we've looked it up on this show before. Or is it not illegal to marry like your
Your
niece or some
cousin.
shit?
You can't. Yeah, maybe that as well. But you can't fuck your siblings, which obviously is a sore point for Carnies.
Yeah, they're looking to get that changed.
Good luck.
Yeah, yeah, you can't in Australia. You can't marry a parent, grandparent, child, grandchild, brother, or sister.
Yeah,
You
well,
can marry your niece or nephew,
which is fucked.
Very edge.
Do we know who the biggest carny in Australia is?
It's hard to find. I don't know if because a lot of the money might not be declared. You know what I
No,
mean?
I can guarantee you it's not. It's a great point.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this list of shows and I'm almost getting a bit giddy.
Yeah, I don't want to have anything to do with it though. I'd like to purchase the Dodgem cars and then employ people to go and do it.
If you
Light touch.
if you got Carney in your blood and your soul, and
You wanna work?
you're wanting to get back into it, and you want to earn a crust, give us a call.
DM.
DM.
Or call the dribble hotline.
Wagga Wagga show 8th to 9th. Interesting. Wagga's a big place. Pretty sure the Dubbo show goes for 3 days.
I think in Australia, all the shows are kind of run by these agricultural societies. So
Although the ag part's dwindling.
yeah, but I don't know if they're privately owned carnivals like it probably would be in America.
You'd probably have to pay to play. So I'd have to pay to get into the shows.
Which is the only visibility we don't really have.
What's it costing us to get into the show?
What's how much to lease a plot
Yeah.
next to the Dubbo Dragway or the Harness Club?
Could you just erect a fucking Dodgem cars in the middle of nowhere? Like, as in, mate,
No, the council wouldn't approve that. No, you
they wouldn't approve much.
No,
Look, it's something to think about.
there's plenty to think about, punters. There's plenty to think about. That's just another example of Australian ingenuity
Yeah.
that Tom and I clearly have.
Of course.
Just leaking out of our fucking
Leaking
pores.
out of our paws. I can't see the barrel show on there, but it is a good show nonetheless.
See, look, you can hit West Wyld on 5th to 6th, then you're into Forbes 8, 9, back to Hay 8th to 9th, then you're at Wagga. Oh, you'd fuck Hay off and go to Wagga 8th to 9th. Corindi 9th to 10th.
Yeah, you do that. Shout out to Corindi.
Up to Merriwall 15th to 17th. Bathurst 5th to 7th of May, which is, I think, a week or two before. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes Bathurst one weekend, Orange the next, Dubbo the weekend after. Just rolling them out.
Anyway.
I've got some numbers here about how much it costs to run a stand.
Yeah.
This is just for the food stand, so it's $960 per square meter. For I think that's like a full stand, or you can have the space only for $812. Home and lifestyle, but these are all like to market your products.
No,
These
we don't
aren't-
want any of that shit.
I need
show
cost.
bags. So this is how much it costs to have a show bag stand. $350 per square meter.
Per what day?
Doesn't read that way.
Yeah, I
Just
think
for the
that's
whole thing?
Just the whole thing.
This is this looks like
You'd make that back pretty quick.
what
Yeah,
you
you
get
would.
for rides and stuff. So between
Mate, it's fuck all.
Fuck all.
and there were some other numbers up here about the average spend of people. So a group of 3 are on average spending $432 at the Easter show.
That's a lot of money.
$150 average spend per person.
Jesus Christ. There you go. It's a fucking money maker. Good luck to Latrell as well, who's got a couple of his prize fucking cows in there.
Yeah. 2 real prize cows is excited for it.
I don't know how it works, but I think a vibe. I think you need to qualify for the big royal shows. So he would have had to have gone through the regional circuit.
Yeah, fucking
Get a
oath,
bit
mate.
of cred on the board.
You don't just get to the big dance because you're a cow. Like you got to fucking earn your way there.
You got to earn your stripes.
Mate, it's like anything. It's like any career. You got to grind in the fucking Reggies before you get up to the big dance.
That's absolutely right.
Prove yourself.
I wonder who's that. I tell you what, you wouldn't be able to skimp on either if you had cows going into the big dance. Tom is like a stylist, like a glam squad. For the cow.
Glam squad for the cows.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, what are you doing to glam a cow? Can you maybe get up some what are we looking
Do you
for?
get points for painted nails?
But what are we looking for? Hooves.
Hooves.
What are we looking for in a cow? What sort of cow? And what are we looking for in that cow to judge? Like, do we want a fat cow?
Well, listen.
Do we want a hot cow?
If I don't know what it's judged on, Tom.
Is it
but
judged on like if it shits mid comp? It's like, oh, that's a bit uncouth.
Listen. If I see a fucking cow, if it's parading for me and it's shitting, points are lost.
Points are lost. You don't
could've
forgive
done-
the cow for not knowing where it is
you
or what
could
it's
have done
doing.
that on the way in.
But does it know that? Or do you maybe, is it incumbent on the owner of the cow to give it like, what is it where it gums you up?
Yeah, well,
Not a Sudafed.
heaps of extra.
No, what a suppository. Stick something in its pipe.
Yep, you could do that, Tom. I'd like shininess as well. Something like a bit
To the coat.
Yeah, shininess to the coat. Well brushed. No shit around the arse.
Would you, now these are cows, not bulls, but you'd want some sort of symmetrical face. You'd want the cow to be symmetrical.
Well, we'll see. Beauty and symmetry go hand in hand.
Yeah,
we know
like it or
this.
not.
That's what we know. Dave, this might sound crass, but I am genuinely interested to know if there's a biggest hog award
Well, aren't cows...
for bulls.
Oh.
Or like biggest balls,
Or biggest tits.
biggest udders.
Tits.
It
Tits,
doesn't
udders,
look like
udders,
it.
tits.
Not at the agricultural shows, at least. There are places like the Icelandic Phallological Museum, which has the world's largest display of penises and penile parts from different animals.
It's a very Iceland thing to do.
But
And not really what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm
not.
talking about parading hogs.
At the Easter show.
I would say at agricultural shows like the Easter show where there's a lot of kids around, it's probably, along with rap music, probably not something they want to show to the kids.
Kids have dicks, man. It's, don't worry. Kids have dicks.
Mate, the
We
hog,
can
the
show
hog,
them
the
dicks
hog parade
on
would bring the
cows.
people in.
The hog parade would absolutely bring people in, but it'd get cancelled by people who are clutching their pearls. That's the problem.
Fucking pearl clutchers.
I know.
Knocking back great idea after great idea.
Do you know yet what the cows are judged by, Dave?
Yeah, so there are a few different judging procedures. So at first there's visual judging. The animals are paraded and lined up for 8 minutes, and
How hot's a cow? That sort of, like, as in you're judging the hotness of the cow at that point, right? What's the visual?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, what
but
am I
but
looking
when,
at?
But when you say visual, when you say that to me, that sounds like how hot's the cow.
Yeah, is that what I'm looking at? Like, how sexually attractive is that cow?
It doesn't need to be sexual. It could just be like beauty.
Sure. I guess what I mean
But
sexual.
you're saying
to
like
other cows.
To other cows, yeah. So like you're pretending to be a cow.
If I
just for
start
the day.
mooing,
Just for the
like,
day.
who's got me mooing?
Yes.
Which cow has got me mooing?
Yes. Because you're pretending to be a cow and you're mooing with approval.
I am embodying a cow.
Yes.
And I'm going, listen, if I've got to judge this,
Yep.
I'm going to have to start thinking like a cow,
Yeah. Which means,
which means, like, how hot's this cow?
yeah.
But that is in the absence of
How
any more
badly do
specifics.
I want to get mounted by this thing?
Or mount, because cows aren't mountain. I want to be the bull. Is there anything more specific, David, in the way of, like, not just look, like, yes, you're looking at them, but
Surely a good honest moo comes into it because you can hear some scat moos that give you the ick pretty quick.
oh yes, you're right, dude. So is there a moo? Is there a moo category?
I don't think that there is an oral category, which is looking inside the mouth of the cows.
Okay, that's for the sickos.
Well, that's for the dentist.
Yes, that's true.
There's a lot of a lot of dentists out there. I think that would get fucking pretty giddy by the
A mouth of a cow.
mouth of a cow or the thought of looking into a mouth.
Not me. Not this judge.
Well, but you don't have much dentist in you.
I definitely don't. I'm observing them as a cow would observe.
Yeah.
Cows don't care about a cow's mouth.
So the oral section not for us.
No, there are a lot of guidelines around like how to judge the cows, but not what you're judging them on. So there's
Fuck,
stuff
this
like,
looks like a boring sheet.
yeah, there's a lot of this stuff.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Procedures for running the national championship. 1, class of competitors to be judged. Sure, each competitor must be identified. Competitors must lead a steer or heifer. Yeah, okay, fucking hell.
Competitors will have 1 hour to prepare their animal unassisted for presentation at the championship judging. Question: how do they know that my cow hasn't been pre-prepared?
I think they're basically saying...
Here's one I prepared earlier.
No, I think what they're saying is like, all right, you've got an hour to go get this thing ready. Like, you got to lead them around once. That's when everyone observes. Then it's like, all right, now if you think you need to primp and preen and, prime, then you can go away and do that. You got 1 hour
To prime them.
to prime them. Then you get them back nice and primed.
So we've got a card where you can kind of mark on the different points of the cow that you observe.
Well,
These cows are being objectified, and I don't know if I like it.
so the
Scrotum and testes.
They are. See, they're judged.
They are. But not the dick. That's a lie. Or the sheath.
No, they're down sound reproductive organs.
Oh, so you are judged.
Yeah, you are.
That
dude.
makes sense.
It does, but you know what? I also don't like unrealistic body sort of expectations.
Well, you need to have a neat tail head as well, Tom, and a correct set of hocks.
Sound reproductive organs, like who are you to tell me as the cow that my reproductive organs aren't sound?
Well, this is like almost the Australia's next top model of cows. The average cow down at the farm won't live up to these standards.
Of course they won't. But, you know, do we have unrealistic beauty standards of cows then? Like, is it, you know, what cows are seeing pinned up as the ideal exemplification of being a cow? Is it realistic?
Well, it's not realistic, and you could argue that it's not. It's certainly not achievable for most cows.
Yeah. It's certainly not.
Most cows are fat, sloppy messes.
Yeah.
And they're not at the show, and that's unfortunate.
Trim, middle, and flanks. What, this thing's got to be doing crunches?
It's got to have a correct set of rear legs.
Thick, meaty loin? Straight top line? That thing's got to be straight. The straightness of the top line.
When it says correct set of rear legs, what does that imply?
Well,
like they can't be subbed out for the legs of a fucking goose?
No. And look, I can see how you might
Do you know
go
what I mean?
there.
Like, they're incorrect.
No, they're goose legs.
They're goose legs.
That's a fucking goose. That's not a cow. I think maybe it's like you can't have a club foot.
You can't have like Tonka's like little fucking extra
Extra
toes.
toes.
And shit.
Or like, you know, we can't give one of them like a big shoe to make up for the fact it's got a short leg.
Like Pat Mullins,
Exactly.
who actually no longer with us.
R.I.P. Pat.
Pat died. I think the cancer came back.
Well, listen, it is what it is, you know, and we think of Pat most days, and today no different. Again, correct set of front legs. I don't know how you fucked that one up.
Again, see above. May try to sub in some goat legs. Which
Trim, neat, dew flap, and brisket. You've got to love your cows to get into fucking judging.
Dude,
this
imagine
shit, don't
going out there being, dude, look at the uniform condition of those ribs.
you? Look at the deep, muscular, bulging quarter, as well as the long, muscular stifle.
Look at that deep, wide chest floor. That is unbelievable.
Bold spring of the rib.
Get a load of those correct set of rear legs. That's just fucking sublime. So shout out to the Agricultural Show's Australian Handbook for getting us through this segment.
Yeah, and Latrell.
And Latrell.
Latrell would be loving this segment.
Fucking oath he would. And I love that Latrell would be loving this segment.
He'd know all about this shit.
Yeah, he would. He'd know a long level rump.
And how do you breed for this sort of stuff?
What, for a long level rump?
Well, what do you do if it doesn't have that, right? You're putting them down?
I think you breed them with someone with a good long level rump.
Right. Or is
Selective breeding over the years, Tom.
is that how Veal started? They went, this thing ain't fucking competing in shit.
Kill it.
Kill it. Schnitty it up.
Schnitty it up. And interesting that veal is usually, not always, but it's oft covered in a batter.
I think it's to try and like just mask the fact you're eating baby cows. Don't worry, it's
No one cares
basically
about
schnitzel.
lamb.
It's too tasty, bro. I had veal schnitzel the other day. It's good. I like
no one. You never have a fucking veal steak. It's always veal schnitzel.
Yeah, no, but like lamb is just fucking to die for.
Or lamb gets into its work.
Lamb, the prime meat. Lamb greater than all other meat.
Lamb on a sandwich, cold, chutney.
Lamb chops fresh off the barbie.
Elite.
Just raw dogged.
But like big meat knows that, and they'll rip your eyes out if you want to buy them.
Lamb, before I started...
They'll rip your eyes out.
Before I started paying for my own food, a la when I was still a fucking child at school, I had no concept of the price of lamb.
Yeah. It made no sense to me growing up that we weren't having lamb chops every night. That made no sense.
No, it was like, what do you mean?
Why are we subbing this out for inferior meats?
Yeah, lamb, clearly the best meat here. We all enjoy it. Why is this not on the table every fucking night? Then you
Why mutton tonight?
start to pay for your own shit and you start looking around the aisle and go... lamb is fucking ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, and then rubbery old mutton starts to sort of give you the eyes.
Or the Chicky Burgs. It's 30% chicken.
Shout out to Chicky Burgs, which got us through a whole year of university until we got the tap on the shoulder By Jarge, funnily enough. There's actually no chicken in them, boys.
And we were like, what are you talking about? And then we looked on the back and it was 30% chicken. But also the sausages, which sausages are great, but if you get just your run-of-the-mill Woolworths, like 40,000 sausages in a pack. Value packs. Again, I'd say there's probably less than like 10 sausages in there, even though there is like 30 sausages in there, if that makes sense.
No lamb in them.
Not even sure what is in them. Probably a lot of hoof.
Mystery tubes.
No hoof.
Why do you hate Moriah, Dave?
Because they try to indoctrinate me for a good 12 years or so.
What does that look like?
It's the no separation at all between political ideology of Zionism and Judaism as a religious faith.
And how do they try to, like, do they pin you down and, like, try to fucking
there's
shove the Old Testament down your throat? Or
no, not the Old Testament. They get talks in from, like, ex-students or people who have moved to Israel to say Israel's this amazing, great place and you should go join the army. And it works on a lot of people. Like
To go join the army.
To go join the Israeli army. There's probably at least one or two from each year group that end up moving to Israel and joining the army.
That's not a great conversion rate, but I do.
Well,
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, and there's these camps from year 8 and onwards called Counterpoint, where it's basically an intensive form of that, where they have lots of speakers coming in. They have like these every night there's like a band that play like Israeli music, and they encourage everyone to get involved. And they're as part of like, so because there's conscription in Israel, you can either go to the army or you can do what they call national service, which is going to other countries and helping educate / indoctrinate. And so every year there's a different group of like 5 guys and 5 girls that come from Israel instead of their army service and live at the school and take classes and whatever on like, anything from like the Jewish festivals to like what's going on in Israel at the moment.
Are you a lone wolf in sort of like, anti-Moriah vibes when you're at school? Or is there like a few of you like, this is fucking bullshit?
I think a lot of the people that came out of the school kind of agreed that the school itself was a bit of a joke, just in terms of not specifically the things I will talk about, but
is this going to get you even more outcast from the Jewish community?
I don't think it's possible for me to get more outcast. But they're
Have
probably...
have they like going into synagogues and shit, have they got like your face on the fucking door?
Do not let this man in.
Shoot on sight.
Shoot on
sight, pretty much. Well, I actually am whitelisted from what they call the CSG, the Community Service Group, which is another arm of this whole thing where they recruit people who have just come out of school to get involved in this kind of training and exercise thing that happens once a week. But then along with that, you train and you learn like Krav Maga and stuff to be one of these security people that stand outside synagogues.
I see a lot of that.
Yeah.
Do they? And I don't.
Krav Maga, isn't that like defense Israeli martial arts?
Yeah.
I don't profess to know whether it's reasonable or not, but it seems like, just from the outside looking in, a lot of security for not a lot of fucking danger. Is that correct? Or are they fighting off a lot of people, those security guards?
Look, it's hard to tell because
there
a lot
are guns at Moriah.
Yeah, so there's actual security guards who carry guns, but then there's also this group, the CSG group, which is like people in the community who stand there and who keep watch and alert people if something goes wrong. And it's like, it's the same with all intelligence, that if you're not seeing anything happen, it's kind of a good thing, because there is always a chance that one thing might happen and they do have to be prepared and stuff like that. But I do agree that it's a lot of security for not a lot of stuff happening. But then again, I have friends who are in that, and so they get the inside word, and there is kind of surprisingly a bit more that than you'd expect.
I heard once that you get a lot of threats.
Yeah.
Like people, calling up being like, there's a bomb in the school. Did you ever have that shit in primary school?
No, I never had any bomb threats.
Scares?
No.
Bomb threats? We used to get them a fair bit.
Surely that's just kids playing up, right?
Fucking oath, but they need to act on them. And then
of course.
Got to go out onto the oval and the teachers are like going through rooms and shit. I'm like, they wouldn't be going through rooms if this was legit. You'd have the bomb squad in there with like little robots and shit doing it.
Surely.
Yeah. In all my time at the school, I don't think we ever actually had a real threat, a real emergency situation.
It's like you can't even see the school. You drive past, it's like bushland. It's like what's that M. Night Shyamalan, The Village?
Great movie.
I can barely remember it, but I get the concept. But like, you look at Moriah and drive past, you can't see shit. You see guys with guns, and then you see heaps of bushland. It's almost like, good luck trying to... Could you escape from that school?
Yeah. Well, when I was in year 12, people used to jump the fence to get out of school sometimes. So I don't know if they've but that's the thing is that.
Did you need to bring like a rope and a fucking?
Nah, there were points in the fence where you could climb up and out. But
points of
that's the thing is that they don't discipline the students enough in the right ways, as much as they do people outside the school. Like they don't really give a shit that much about what the kids are doing. Like the security guards with the guns and whatever will watch kids walk in and walk past in school uniform. They're like, yeah, whatever, we don't care. We're not checking people. But
They'd shoot me though.
yeah, maybe.
Not that I'm going in there. I'm just saying they'd probably.
But yeah, all those walls outside and same with.
You have to be Jewish to go to Moriah?
Yes, Moriah, you do.
Is that-
and it's also it's not just like you have to have your mother is Jewish, which is the
that
technical
play on? Like I don't have any issue with it, but I mean like I feel like that's.
Well, I think you've got to be Catholic to go to a Catholic school, don't you?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, bro.
Yeah, some of them around
Some
here,
of
you
you
have to
do.
be baptized and stuff if you
Yeah.
want to get in.
Fucking oath you
What
do.
was Scott's? Presbyterian?
Presbyterian, which I don't know what
I
the
don't
fuck
get
that
what any
is.
of it fucking means. It's like
I've got absolutely.
minor-
I know Anglican was like a guy, a king who wanted to have a harem, wanted to fuck regularly. So that's the difference. But I don't know what Presbyterian is.
That's all fucking bit over the top, isn't it? Not to anger any of our religious brothers and sisters.
No, absolutely not. We're just conveying the fact that I don't know what it means.
Don't know what it means, and I don't care if you want to have a school where it's like you've got to be this or you got to be that, but
Well, it's like a selective school. You can't come if you're not smart.
that makes more sense because the school is a place to fucking try and like learn stuff. So it's like let's not slow it down with dum dums. Let's just keep this thing moving because you're only as fast as your slowest, classmate.
Which is particularly true in the HSC. Because if you've got a couple of fucking dum-dums slowing you down...
They bring you back,
Yeah,
eh?
it drags you all down.
Doesn't really make sense, does it?
Well, a couple of schools like
The whole
I
thing's
know
so stupid, bro.
Redham in Bondi, if they have like really dumb kids in their year, they'll get them to sit the HSC as like an external non-school affiliated, so their results don't go towards
That
the
is
school's
so.
results.
Imagine being asked to that. You're like, hey, what? You've been like the whole time. You're like, yeah, what about those dumbasses who don't get to fucking sit it as an actual school? And they're like, hey, we'd like to get you into this class.
Surely you could kick up one of the great stinks all time if that was put on you. I'd be looking for cash bribes.
Yeah. Or
Bribe me up, buttercup.
Or your colours.
Or my colours.
Yeah.
We went to school with a couple of people probably would have done that.
Yeah, for sure.
But do you know what? One of the
Couple of
funniest
people not
things about HSC, the school that had, at least in my year when I was in year 12, the school that had the most applications for special provisions, like you get extra time to do your exams or you get to walk around.
10 extra marks because you fucking stubbed your toe once.
Yeah, exactly. Moriah College was the highest school in New South Wales for applications for extra
Really? What do you
provisions.
think that's about?
It's just about I'm special, me treatment, parents complaining to the school,
Yeah.
being like, my child's special, he needs help.
Yep.
And not like special as in actually,
No, not
Like-
special in the Special Olympics sense. Special
Yeah.
in the
as in the
my
yeah,
son's amazing or my daughter's amazing.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, that concludes the Jewish portion of our podcast this morning. At least for now, we may circle back to it at some point. Thank you, Dave. Dave, just as Eddie left there, you said something about a protest and the Tigers or what?
Yeah, well, from your ears to the Tigers fans' mouth, it seems, as Fox Sports and a few other places are reporting, a group of, as they call it, furious Tiger fans have banded together and are preparing to stage a protest during the Easter Monday clash against the Eels. So there's a Facebook group called the West Tigers Action Group, which right now has just under 500 members. I've asked to join, but not been accepted yet. They're
Join
planning to walk out of a core stadium and also turn their backs on the field in the 11th and 12th minutes, the amount of years that the club has missed the finals. They're also going to be handing out pamphlets in the crowd with information regarding the group's stance. So the group's administrator, a guy called Clint Schneider, has been interviewed saying, regular stuff. Nothing seems to change at the club. Everyone's sick of seeing us lose, and he doesn't really blame them. Not aimed at the players, aimed at the club. Another thing he said, which is quite good, our group only started recently, but is growing all the time. We are not nut jobs, just frustrated fans.
Can I point out an observation? Do you think that it's coincidental that after 12 years of fucking absolute pain, that days after we say West Tigers fans should start fucking taking action into their own hands and requesting, nay, protesting for change, that this little action group would happen to pop up, which is apparently new.
Very new and only has 500 members. What's the group called again?
The West Tigers Action Group.
Right. Well, listen, firstly, let's start with this.
We're tag.
Huh?
We're tag.
We're tagged.
We're tag group. WTG.
Yeah. You're welcome, West Tigers. The amount of fucking West Tigers fans who left comments on, like, I think the video that was put up on our IG where we're sort of calling for them to actually have a crack, saying they're complicit in the nightmare. We're like, mate, fucking hell, guys, we've been fucking talking that for ages. I'm like, have you chained yourself to anything yet, cunt? Haven't seen that. Have you protested a goddamn thing?
The only thing I've ever seen you do, Tigers fans, no offence, is give standing O's in trial games. That's the only action I've seen.
And that was last year. Clint, where's the name?
Clint Schmeider.
Okay, Clint Schmeider. I just want to see if we can find him on IG.
He's not in the Punters and Dribblers group.
He's from Redhead, New South Wales. Obviously a ranger of note.
Oh, he's a redhead.
Yeah.
That's not...
Listen, you're welcome. As Tom said, you're welcome. I encourage West Tigers fans that are feeling like this is probably the bottom. You got to get out there and you see what you got to be the change you want to see in the world.
It's not the bottom yet. That's the reality.
But if you're feeling like it is,
I would love to get Clint on for a yarn.
Clint Schmeider.
Yeah. I am concerned at this early stage of only 500 people in the group, and they're staging the walkout on Monday. So they definitely need all the help they can get.
Put it this way. If you're at a pack brookie, Tom, and we've been at a pack brookie edging on 20,000, let's call it nice and neat, 20,000 people. If 500 people left, you wouldn't notice.
The problem is, do the Tigers have that many people going to the game?
500?
Yeah.
At Suncorp?
No, it's at a core.
Oh, it is at a core.
Against the Eels.
Look, the problem as well is it's a core, so it holds 80,000. So 500 scattered leaving, you're not going to really notice.
That's why they need more people to know about this thing. And we'd love to hear from Mr. Schmeider.
He needs to get the word out there. Action needs to be taken. Because as if the on-field performance wasn't enough, the fact that on the Anzac commemorative jersey...
They changed it to commemorative jersey. I think it was the Anzac jersey.
Listen, if you're wearing it on Anzac Day weekend, it is an Anzac Day commemorative jersey. It's as simple as that. There's no ifs, there's no buts. It's not a fucking... You're not commemorating American troops on Anzac Day.
There's no reason
when
we have our own history with war and military and conflict. There is no reason for you to put a photo of any soldier other than Australian soldiers.
Or New Zealand.
Maybe New Zealand soldiers on the jersey. It is the height of laziness.
It's a stock photo.
It's the height of laziness. It's just like, fuck it, Google war.
Google cool war photo.
I will say this, if you're in the Punters and Dribblers page, Scotty Bellotti of fucking Bees Dick Away from Glory fame put in
on the final straight
on the cusp of glory. That's all I'll say about that. But he's on the fucking reservoir. He's just about to
final push.
We can't put these in the podcast. Can we? I mean, they're a bit how you going. But he's put up the Tigers Indigenous round jersey with a Native American on the front.
Yep.
He's put on the Pride
Women in
round.
League is
Caitlin Jenner. Pride round jersey, Israel Folau, and the retro jersey is a Richmond Tigers jersey. It's
genius.
It's funny stuff from Scotty Bellotti.
Given the current climate that the Tigers created.
We had nothing to do with it.
Absolutely.
The Tigers have everything to do with it.
Correct.
In and of it, in isolation, it would have been confusing because the Tigers hadn't fucked anything up, but
That's right.
they have fucked something up, so it's very topical.
Like, I wonder who's getting the sack for this thing.
Someone's probably getting sacked. But then again, in a Tigers world, maybe not. Like, they just... it was approved by some military... like, the jersey was...
Who was it approved by?
So the NRL, I think, saw it and were like, yeah, sweet. But also the
But as
NRL,
if- why would they?
the NRL have no responsibility to be like, now, are they Australian troops? Like, what are the guns they're using? Like, you'd assume that you're just putting fucking Anzacs on.
You would, if you're at the NRL and you're approving a jersey, you would assume that's already happened.
Yeah, you don't think that you need to go,
As Sebo said, why wouldn't you get on the blower to the War Memorial in Canberra being like, have you got any photos laying around we could use?
because, Eddie, that's too much work.
Way easier to just to go to Adobe, type in war and get a photo that...
Stock image.
And the stock image they used was like orange and black. So they're
it
like,
worked.
perfect.
Yeah, this is great. Let's get that
Perfect.
one. And then, yeah, it got shown to and cleared by some sort of war body or governing body. Like, I don't know. They mentioned it on our NRL 360 last night. You might find an article somewhere.
Yeah, well, it does say the club has said that the design was done in collaboration with Holsworthy Army Barracks.
Right. Now, does that mean that Holsworthy fucked up as well? I don't know. But the thing, when it started doing the rounds on like military pages and shit last night with people who like know what guns we use and what our uniform looks like and what helicopters we use and shit. And they're like, that looks weird. And they just Google it. Google fucking war, basically. And then you find it. I can't imagine what poor old Juzzy Pascoe was doing.
Been a bad week.
Dude, I wish it was the bye. I wish the Tigers had a bye this week because it would be like the Tigers. You know, everyone's like, well, we can't lose the bye round. It's like, no, you did. Actually, you lost the bye round. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you mean.
would've
As in,
been
like,
nice.
as in, like, when you can just shut up shop and
Not worry about anything.
go to sleep for a second and just get the 2 points and
Yeah.
move on with your life.
You'd
This
still
happened.
lose.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen. It's so rugby league. It's so rugby league. It's so
It's
Tigers.
so West Tigers.
Yeah, it's so West Tigers.
It's unbelievable.
And they had John Bateman of English fame modelling it.
I know. Like, what are we doing?
And then I got sent this one today. Well, we got sent this one today, and I didn't know if it was true or not. But they had like a post that was promoting the women in the NRLW side. Can you just look for that on the Tigers? And it was Luke Brooks. Do you have any like where? Maybe they don't have a team. That was the only thing I thought. I don't know if the West Tigers have a team.
Unless they're one of the ones joining this season, I don't know if they have a team in the WNRL.
Luke Brooks seems like a weird choice. Or is that a joke?
Listen, I don't know.
We don't know. We don't have the facts, punters and dribblers, so don't beat us for
And
that.
that's why even when this War Memorial thing, when we first got sent that, I was like, I think Kempy sent it to us.
He did. He sent to us yesterday.
And I was like, I almost didn't believe it.
Yeah, it was like, no, this is almost.
There's
But then
no
I saw the photo. I'm like, no, that's
This
actually.
is-
I'd seen that photo the day before.
Well, we just went to West Tigers Instagram and it was still up, and you're like, oh, okay, they fucked up.
I don't think it's up on their Instagram anymore.
Well,
Like, so basically, would they have already bought, paid for, ordered all the jerseys for Anzac Day, which is obviously at the end of the month?
dude, they were 100% would have had it.
They were on sale.
Yeah.
They were on sale.
Yeah, dude. Because that's why it was initially, I swear it was initially called an Anzac jersey. Then they're like, whoops, changed it to commemorative jersey, even though it was being played on Anzac Day. And then this thing continued to bubble and bubble and bubble. And they're like, we're just going to do it all again. I wonder how many they would have bought. Like, what losses do you reckon they're taking?
Healthy ones. Healthy L's.
Healthy L's, dude.
Healthy L's. Yeah, definitely. We know a little bit.
Well, we know a little bit about merch, but I don't know the numbers they're getting.
They wouldn't be crazy numbers, but they'd be healthy numbers.
Yeah, that would be healthy numbers. It'd be a fucking loss.
It'd be a big loss, yeah. Yeah. So if you are passionate about the club and you want to make a change,
Turn your back and
Turn
leave
your back.
on Monday.
turn your back and leave. Do what's right for the club.
Do it for the club. Sick of you Tigers fans whinging without actually taking action.
Do you reckon we'll see at some point this season Robbie Farah, who's like obviously not touted to be next, just going, I'm out?
It wouldn't shock me if they all did. It would not shock me if they all. It wouldn't shock me if the Sheenius went. Punters and dribblers, before we wrap up this week, couple of things we got to get to. Obviously, we will be picking our Rugby League multi. Now, the live stream is tonight.
How'd we go last week?
Well, I didn't win anything, and I did put the bet on. So.
You did put it on?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a good feeling about it.
Eels was the first leg, so we lost that
There
straight
we go.
away.
Yeah, that wasn't good. So we will get to that multi at the end. Live stream tonight. Jarchi with us. 1 TBC. Which we would already know, but as of time of recording, we just haven't locked them in. We're waiting for a response from someone. Given it's Easter, cunts are sort of not really around, but
Less availability than usual.
there's less availability than usual. But Jarchi, as always, ready to watch his Roosters. But the Masters is on this weekend.
Fucking oath it is.
And not just any Masters, because it's the Easter long weekend and the Masters is on. And it's the first one, I believe, since the Live defection.
Yep.
So it's like WCW, WWF coming together to fight each other. Over 150 hours, I am reading this, so bear with me, but over 150 hours of live golf content across KO for this weekend. As I said, featuring both boys from the Live and from the PGA. Could you imagine if it gets down to a Live v PGA fucking, you know?
Well, we were saying like a Cam Smith and a Rory
Mac.
McIlroy doing the back nine together on Sunday, Easter Sunday, no less.
Is Tiger playing?
Yeah.
Dude, like,
Did you see the Masters dinner photo? Like, I wonder how awkward it is in that room between Liv and PGA. Like, do they give a fuck? Or do
I
they
don't
just
think the
park it?
Live people give a shit. I think the Masters guys are all like, you know, they're all...
Apparently, like, I remember reading something. Bryson DeChambeau like used to talk to Tiger. They used to be mates, and like he'd message him for his birthday and shit. He just brushes him.
Really?
Yeah. Tiger's like, fuck off. Which I'm a little bit like,
Dude, let everyone
who
do their own thing.
cares? You've
Shut up.
already had. You know what? You've done it. You're at the back end now.
Yeah, but maybe they're like, the golf, the fucking history of golf. Da, 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 da. Anyway, fuck them all. Fuck them all, because the Masters is on. Now, there's an HBO Tiger Woods doco as well that's going to be on KO to watch over the weekend, which is pretty horny if you are just wanting to fully immerse yourself, which I will be doing. I'm down to tune it. Don't listen to this bit, Steph, but I am taking one of our internet dongles because there's no reception down there, and Daddy will be, oh, what's going on here? Oh, I've just got to quickly nip to the bathroom. Dongle, phone, golf, shit.
Mate, I'll be preempting Ella tonight when I get home about the fact that early Monday morning, is just like alone time.
Yeah,
so
you
you can go walk the dog and do whatever you want, but I'll be watching the final round. Know that.
Now, the problem is, and I'm stepping out of the Masters thing for a second here, but this weekend, obviously, 8 games of Rugby League, most of which will just be exclusive to KO because that's how it works. Then you've got the UFC on the Sunday, which you can watch on Main Event via KO without having a subscription. And then the whole time, once the footy's on late night, you've got the fucking Masters on at Augusta. Braith's over there. I have it on good authority. He isn't even wearing a shirt.
Why would he?
He's got just a collar on.
He'd be the hottest man in media at the Masters right now.
Yeah.
Comfortably. Wouldn't even be close.
Comfortably,
Hottest man in
dude.
media.
Comfortably.
Absolute dish.
Now, just so we know quickly, because we are going to get to some people, like some tips, some betting. But round 1 kicks off 7th of April, Friday, 5 a.m.
Yep.
So that's kickoff. 5 a.m. not too bad, especially with a couple of babies. You know, you're up that time anyway. Group 1: Kevin Na, Mike Weir. Who do we care? I don't care about him. Taylor Gooch and Kokrak, I do like. Sandy Lyle, I'll take or leave. I feel like Fred Couples is 600 years old.
He is.
Okay.
Fred's real old.
Fred's as old as they get. Harrison Crow of Australian, I don't know fame. Minwoo Lee, I'm a fan of.
Big fan of Minwoo. Huge fan. Adam Scott, Cameron Smith. Good honest work.
Fat Pat and Thigala in the same one, in the same group. I like that.
Victor Hovland, Schauffele, Tiger Woods. Not a bad group.
Vicky Hobbs, Schauffele, Tiger that's the hottest group I've seen so far from a interest perspective.
Johnny Rahm, Justin Thomas, Cameron Young's
That's
pretty hot.
pretty hot.
Singjay Hideki Matsuyama and Cameron Smith's pretty fucking hot too, dude.
Oh, that's hot.
There's some hot groupings.
That's hot, dude. Oh, Just park up, undo the belt.
Matthew Fitzpatrick, Morikawa, and Zalatoris is
That
pretty
ain't
nice.
bad. Dustin Johnson, Justin Rose, Corey Connors.
There's some studs. Some absolute studs. The best thing about the Masters...
Finau, Fleetwood, Spieth.
Best thing about the Masters is you can sit there and watch it all fucking day long.
Yeah, and there's replays and catch-ups and all that sort of shit.
It's all on
dude.
KO, mate. This weekend is actually so stacked, punters and dribblers. If you don't have KO, you are so fucked. You've got the fucking WSL at Bells. You've got the Biffs. You can buy main event. It's also on KO. You've got the Masters, and you've got 8 games of rugby league football.
Get fucked.
All this weekend.
And you've got the bloody watch 50 screens at once feature.
IPL also on.
IPL I'm less concerned about, but it is on.
It is on.
There's NBA. There's all sorts.
Again, less concerned about the NBA.
But one of the great weekends for sport.
Yes, it is.
That's all we're saying.
I'd say, is it the best weekend of sport so far this year?
Yes.
Comfortably.
Easily.
Comfortably.
Not even close.
So just to quickly round that out for you, round 1 kicks off 5 a.m. on Friday, 7th of April. Round 2, same thing, 5 a.m. every day, but then the final round, 4 a.m. Monday.
Love it. Absolutely love it. They get up the rounds. Tom and I are going to make some money for the punter and the dribbler. Obviously, we're dialed in. Obviously, we know what we're talking about.
But just quickly, Cam Smith to win.
Yeah.
That's for me.
I'm on Rory, but I'm going to have some on Cam. Know that.
You got it. You're a dog. Obviously, you're a turncoat. You turn on your nation, but Cam Smith to win, to fucking give it to him.
Roosters Storm.
I like the Roosters. Now, you've got fucking Hughes coming back for the Storm. Is there anyone else coming back for the Storm, Dave?
Not really. Not as big as Hughes.
No, but obviously Tedesco out, but I like having, like, if you look at the teams, if you go stroke for stroke in teams' positions, I like the Roosters.
I think Roosters in a tight one.
Yeah, Roosters tight.
Roosters tight. Roosters real tight. Dogs, rabbits.
Rabbits, easy. That's easy. Cows, fish.
Cows.
Fisher have got some injuries. Their halves look like...
And Scotty drinks back.
Scotty
drinks
drinks
huge
back.
in.
Yeah.
Huge in.
Yeah.
Panther Seagulls.
Manly.
Broncos,
Don't you
Raiders.
fucking hesitate? You sound like you hesitated.
No, I'm just saying Manly.
You better be.
Broncos, Raiders.
Can you just go back just quickly because you got to say which games are on KO or not? We don't have to. I just feel like letting them know. Well, obviously they're all on KO. All on KO. Manly, Penrith, first game, exclusive to KO. Raiders, Broncos. Exclusive. First v 16th, the Broncos to hump the fucking Raiders.
Knights, Warriors, exclusive.
No, Titans, Dragons.
You're not ready probably, buddy.
Titans, Dragons. Who are we picking?
Oh, okay.
You dumb fuck.
Dragons.
Yeah. I like the Wars against the Knights. It's also an exclusive game.
Wires will win.
Wars. Monday, the walkout day. Tigers v Eels. So Easter Monday, if you don't have KO, you can't watch rugby league. So enjoy that. And you'll miss the walkout.
Listen, if you don't have KO, you'll miss the walkout, which is unmissable rugby league television. Eels win.
Eels.
That's paying $59.61.
Thank you, mate.
Love that. That's with Neds. Gamble responsibly with Neds.
Great bet.
Not an ad.
Great show. Hellosport.shop. Get your punters and dribblers cord, rose hat. They're fucking electric. They're unbelievable. Jesus wore them.
Yes. Happy Easter, P's and D's. We love you. Drive safe to wherever you're driving.
We'll be back on Tuesday next week.
Why? Public holiday.
See you on Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?